Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. This is Alo-Fusion Education, and today we are in a different setting. We are outside in the park, and if you see us looking around, we are trying to monitor our son. So my name is Bemi and I'm here again with my lovely husband, and today we'll be talking about like our experiences in our PhD program in the format of Nobody Tells You series. So things that nobody tells you or things that people don't really talk about. So
yeah, thank you. I think you thought about this series, and I think it's a good one, so we can discuss, because many times there are things expected of you that, or there are things, the perception of something. I put it this way: real life versus no, this is how I used to say it. Reality check.
okay.
Yeah, where you fantasize about something. It may be anything, a gadget or something, and then you get it, and you're like, is this
Reality
really,
dawns on you.
So is this really what I wanted? And that's why we're having this video. Yeah. So
Okay. So there are different like segments to it. So
Okay.
the first one that we'll be talking about is research, actually, like the reality of research. So the first prompt is: nobody tells you that most experiments will not work the first time.
yeah, and I think we came from this background where, you just want things to work. Whichever way, and you feel like, okay, just tell me the project I need to do, so that even if I can finish it in year one, I'll be done and go to other things. But one of the things the PhD has taught us is, trial and error. Sometimes something will not work for a long time, and for me, it was even the fact that our advisors to know. So it's though they want you to deliver, but they know that things might not go. Yes. And so, well, what's the experience?
Yeah, so like I think similar to you, like when I started my PhD program, the first year, morale is high. You think that this year I'll publish all the papers. Like I think I was telling you, maybe you don't remember, that my target for the first year is publish 8 papers. You think everything is going to go on.
8 papers. 8, no.
Okay, same friends. So you think that like you publish like multiple papers in the first year, but the first year we're just understanding the project, understanding the equipment. Sometimes your equipment can get faulty. Sometimes you do something and then you forgot a parameter, or a parameter you're not taking into consideration. There are a lot of things that can go wrong. Equipment can go wrong. The experiment itself can fail. You might not get what you're looking for. Just things like that. So there are a lot of things that can go wrong. So the first, I think, reality check that I got in my PhD program is the fact that don't expect everything to work out fine. Everything can go wrong. Machines can decide to fail tomorrow.
Yep.
And unfortunately, my project is largely experimental. So there are just a lot of things that can go wrong. The first year, it was just machine issues. Like we're just building the machine. Second year, we're still understanding the machine. But still doing some experiments. Then we found out that the experiment that we did was rubbish. Then third year, you're redoing all the experiments again from scratch. So just a lot of things that can get faulty.
Yeah.
Okay, so second prompt is nobody tells you that troubleshooting is most of the job in PhD.
Yeah, it depends. I think it's a case-specific prompt. Troubleshooting will be especially for programmers and maybe simulations and all of that. I know even experiment, not to belittle what you guys are doing, but I think for us, many times when I have an ideology, when you start to troubleshoot, I think rather than focus so much on troubleshooting, just go back to the basics and build up again. Because for me, it looks like you can spend more time troubleshooting than building from the scratch. So let's say I was doing maybe an experiment or a simulation, and maybe the code is not working. At some point, I just prefer to, just start again, go back to the background, and bring it up. But you troubleshoot, and it could be just one small thing, and you have those aha moments. Maybe you're sleeping and you run to go and pick something, depending on the research you do. And so these are things that, and because we're in a society that delivers, you don't have, if it's in Nigeria, you have excuses. You can say my grandmother's ear, mosquito beats the ear. You can have different excuses, but here you just want to deliver. and so you really want to push yourself to do the best. But in that sense, I think yes, I think the prompt is right and wrong. I think right in the sense that you troubleshoot most times, but I think it depends on what you're researching on.
Yeah. So I think because mine is largely experimental, and most of your results are dependent on like the machines you work with, and like the machines and materials. So yeah, you spend a lot of time debugging. So like this is my 4th year in my PhD program, and we just discovered that the powder we have been using for the last 3 years is not the we did an SEM imaging, and then we found that the powders are not spherical, which they're supposed to be. Like normal additive manufacturing powders are supposed to be spherical. Now this is my 4th year. It was just this 4th year I discovered that all the experiments we've been doing have not been, the powders we'll be using are not spherical. Like they are just different shapes.
Quartz.
Yeah, quartz powders. So it's just like
I know
they're like so all our experiments that we've been doing all this while is not valid. So we have to now redo all these experiments. So it's just a lot of troubleshooting and going back to the drawing board. That okay, we're getting these results. Like what could be wrong? We just discovered that like the oxygen is finding a way to leak into our setup. So just things like that you may not pay attention to. But once somebody points it out, maybe a reviewer points it out, or a colleague points it out, then you have to go back again to drawing boards and now start questioning all your results. That okay, it's like these things are not right. I have to redo everything.
Yeah.
So that's the troubleshooting in the experimental.
Yeah, the same thing too for us too, especially with resolution. Yes, we do what is called a mesh independent study, where, because I do more of simulations, mesh independent study where you try to validate your real life experience. But again, the conditions, just one condition can alter many things. So and that's why usually you see they will say to the best of the knowledge. You see it in papers like that, so that you don't over consider it as the one be all. What is it? End all be all scenario. Yeah.
Okay. So the third one is nobody tells you how messy, quote unquote, good data is.
This one you might get fined.
No,
They should not come for us for this one.
I don't think so, because like for example, I'm going to slide a little into medical system. So what is called good data? There are just a lot of parameters that goes into it. So most of the time it's not a input is equals to the output. There are just a lot of things in between that have to be considered. So your data might be good, but you have to do a lot of fine tuning and have to do a lot of like putting things that okay, is it good because of, you have to put like this, like restrictions.
Yes.
Or what is it?
Constraints.
Thank you. Put a lot of constraints to it. That, okay, it's good to this extent. This law works to this particular extent. So if you don't have those defining boundaries or those boundary conditions, you're just deceiving yourself. So yeah, the data might be good, but it's good to the it's as good as the conditions around it.
Yeah. Concerning data, I've noticed a lot of things, and I think I still have that problem till today, because I noticed that in research, your data should tell a story. And so usually once I'm sure you're wondering why I'm pausing, but once there's a part of the data that might not conform to the story you're telling, okay, usually you want to not hide it, but you just want to explain it, yes. Or you also want to probably try to keep it as a further research point. And I've noticed that. So it becomes, yes, you acknowledge it and say, okay, this is the next thing we try to work on to make this data make more sense. So in that sense, these are things, we just come from an ideology of things should work and it should work immediately, but it doesn't apply all the time like that. Yeah.
Okay. So another thing is nobody tells you how much of research is repetition.
Yes, and I'm going to say this with all sense of humility about this country we're in and the Western world. I think one of the things they benefit more as against countries like where we come from is they have iterations or repetitions, and as frequent as you want an iteration to be, one iteration might be a bit different from another. So it exposes you to another line of thought around something, and that's one thing we don't have. We just that's why we don't have maintenance culture, as we say, because you just have something, pam pam, and that's it, and then you celebrate it, glory to God, and that's all. No, here you would see even they are gathering data, something is happening, they are gathering, like we are doing this here, and somebody might see this video and say, oh, this is the best video I've seen, but a Western mind will look at it and say, yes, we thank God, this is a nice setup today. How can we improve? How can we make it better? How can this thing, an African man...
And you make it better by like keep doing it and keep doing it.
By keep doing. An African man will just say, in short, I'm the best videographer the world has ever seen. And that's why usually we just have that cap on success compared to this place. So as you said, repetition, especially in research, and there's this adage I saw that you should not fear somebody that kicks a ball once and gets it right. I prefer to fear someone that kicks it 1,000 times and get it right at the 1,000th time, because that person knows a lot of that can go wrong. Yeah. So that iteration, I think, just beyond research, I think is something we should imbibe in our life to see. It's just that we're in a generation of now, which doesn't work. We all fall short of it, to be sincere. But yes, research is all about iterations. Yeah.
So I think when I started my PhD program, like I mentioned at the first year, I felt like, okay, I'm just going to publish like X amount of papers. Now, is it possible? Probably. But you've probably not learned as much as you think you know. So, and I used to think that I was a kind of person that I have, quote unquote, a short attention span. That, like, if I start the project, once I'm done, I've closed it, I don't want to see it again. I think it's the brilliant mindset. You get 80 or 95 in a course and you think you are the best, and you move on to the next thing. So that's the kind of mindset I had. But quickly it had to change that. My mindset keep sending me back to that same project. Like, go back. I'm like, we've done this now. And they are going back. So this paper that you are aware about, we have been working on it since 2 years ago, even before Christian was born, before our son was born. We have been working on the same paper. And it's like we are going back to it, because there's always something to be improved. Yeah. There's always something to learn. There's a new direction that you've not thought about. That's a new body of knowledge that came out, and then you have to go back and rework what you have done before. So it was very frustrating for me for the first year and maybe into the second year. But quickly I learned that you just have to keep doing the same thing and the same thing. Go to the lab, do the same experiment, and then you learn a new thing, and then go back again the following week. I'm like, I've done it before now. We say no, go back again and redo it. So it's just a lot of repetition and doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's sincerely true. And one thing again I've noticed is that I think when you write in your CV that you are self-motivated, it's
PhD that will test it.
Because, and that's why people consider it boring. I think a large number of people consider that, we as humans, you want something new. But that fact that you're going back to just go and see, it could be a device, it could be an analysis or something, and you're just going to see it and you're looking at it and you're expecting this and it might not work. And it just gets the human mind tired.
You want something new, like give me something else to work on, going back to the same thing.
So the moment I understood that, I think my journey became, I just knew, okay, I just need to show up. I tell people when they complain, I say just try to show up again. And just keep doing it. One day, even if there's no results, they will tell you that, okay. Yeah, okay, let's go to the third one.
Okay, so another one is nobody tells you how much time is spent organizing and not discovering.
Yeah. Again, naturally, maybe because I came from a bit of a research background in Nigeria. My final year project, we treated it as a research, and so we knew that even because I did simulations then, and you want to report over 1,000 data points, you know that you need to ensure that you have good organizational structure, where it's not that you finish one result today, you just put it here, and so it has helped me a bit in my file structure to understand how things are done and how to group data in such a way that would make sense. And that's what I was saying about still making a story. So you can group data in a way that makes sense.
Okay.
We'll be back.